Hi guys, welcome back to Crafty Not Shifty. Today I'm going to be sharing a card making technique video for these embossed kisses. Thank you to everyone that's recently followed me on Twitter. I said that I'd release this video when I reached 400 followers, so thank you all for your recent follows. And if you haven't followed yet, you can find me at Crafty Not Shifty. So I've got a piece of white cardstock that I'm prepping with my anti-static powder tool. And I'm going to be using some lilac embossing powder, and in place of the embossing ink I'm using some regular lip gloss. So this works with any lip gloss. I've tried it with a couple and it seems to work with any kind of glossy sticky lip gloss. So you're going to apply the lip gloss as you would normally and then just dab that off onto the cardstock, leaving a lipstick impression. So I'm just doing a few of those around the edge of the card, and then I'm going to take this lilac Paper Mania embossing powder and sprinkle that on top. And then we'll emboss those kissed images. So I keep my embossing powder in these Systema Clip It storage tubs, which are great, and use the mini, I think they're classed as an ice cream kind of tasting spoon, just clipped to the lid inside, and Jennifer Maguire has a really great video showing how this storage system works. So I'm just using a dry paintbrush to brush away any stray pieces of embossing powder, and then I'll bring in my heat tool and heat set that. So I think these kissed images look really sweet on a card, and it's a really nice way to create an embossed image of your own lips. So it's fully customized and personal to you, rather than using a stamped image. So once that's dry, I'm just going to reapply some lip gloss again. Keep going right the way around the edge of the card. So I've just sped this up a little bit so you can see I'm just repeating the same process for each of those kiss images and working my way around the outside edge of the card. I'm going to have a stamped panel in the centre, so I've left the centre blank. So I'm using the Mama Elephant Pandemonium stamp set, and these little bits confuse me. I think that they're arms, but it's caused a debate in my household. So I showed this stamp set to my boyfriend, and he thinks that you stamp this part upright and then put a little panda on top and it's a panda poop. I'm not entirely sure Mama Elephant meant for it to be a panda poop, so if anyone knows exactly what you're supposed to use that section of the stamp for, please do let me know. So I'm taking the two pandas that face each other, picking those up with my Martha Stewart stamp press, and I'm going to be inking those up in VersaFine Onyx Black ink. So the pandas have they're kind of sketchy, the image isn't completely full, so you'll see that when I stamp this down, and that's okay. If you do prefer the image to be complete, you can just take a black pen and fill in those sketchy marks. I'm now going to take the heart and the outline heart and stamp those using Simon Says Stamp lavender ink. So I'll stamp that there just above the pandas, a cute little heart, and I'm taking the Kiss Kiss I Love You sentiment from the stamp set, and I'm lining that up again on the Martha Stewart stamp press, making sure that I've got it nice and straight using the horizontal lines and stamping that in Onyx Black. I'm taking the filled heart now, and again that's the same lavender ink from Simon Says Stamp, and I'm just repeatedly stamping a few of those hearts up above the outline heart to fill in some of the blank space. I think this looks so cute with the little pandas kind of gazing into each other's eyes, looking like they're all in love. I think it makes a really sweet card that you could use maybe for a Valentine's Day card or just an appreciation card. So I've got a 5x7 white card base here, scored in the middle, and I've got a panel of Simon Says Stamp cardstock that is 4 7/8 of an inch by 6 7/8 of an inch. So it's just 1/8 of an inch shorter on each side, and I'm using that as a mat on the front of my card. So it just leaves a really small white border around the outside edge, and I've got that stuck down with my ATG tape, and then I'm going to stick down the embossed panel that we've created in the exact same way using the ATG tape. If you do have an ATG gun and you ever struggle to refill it, for some reason I find every time I come to refill my ATG gun, I kind of struggle to remember exactly how everything goes. I have created a video that I'll link below. So now I'm taking a smaller panel of the purple cardstock, and this one is, I believe that's 4 3/4, no it's not, that can't be right. I believe it's 2 7/8 by 4 7/8 of an inch, and I'm just taping that down with my ATG gun again. And then I'm going to take the small white panel that we've got our panda image stamped on, and again stick that down using the ATG tape. If you don't have an ATG gun, you can use any double-sided tape, or wet glue works perfectly well. You can use kind of your Tombow wet glue, or just a regular PVA glue or a glue stick. And so that's it for this card. It's a nice, quick and simple card. It's really sweet, customized with your own kind of lipstick print. And I'll show you how, just to finish this off, once you've got the card sealed inside of the envelope, you can then stamp a kiss in the exact same way that we did before, using the lip gloss, sprinkle the embossing powder onto the top and heat set that, so it has a nice kind of kissed seal on the envelope. So I hope you have fun using this technique. I've found since I discovered it, every time I use my lipstick and blot it off onto a piece of paper, I kind of want to run and get some embossing powder and save that image. But I'm not quite that crazy, so I have still be throwing those in the bin. Another thing to point out is that you could use different coloured lip gloss and use clear embossing powder if you wanted to have a different look. Here's an example of another card that I made for the Cervical Cancer Smear for Smear campaign. So I hope you have fun using this technique, and if you've enjoyed the video, please do hit like and subscribe so you don't miss any updates from me, and if you haven't yet, follow me on Twitter at CraftyNotShifty.